All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How is everybody? How's
I'm
the training, coaching, self-coaching, self-mastering? How is it working?
that's the better that's the best part for me, the self-coaching. So I'm improving in that area. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm not training because I'm working, but the I will do it tonight. So I am feeling this achievement in my mind and in my body. So like doing the right or making the right decisions with my body in terms of flexibility and strength.
Very good. Very good. So your training is on daily basis?
Yes, when I'm traveling, I'm doing the happy body, 3 rounds of the happy body.
Okay.
But with I'm back and I'm doing the lifting.
All right. Any questions? Any help you need?
Mm, not really, but I was wondering if and I think that this is part of the self-coaching. If I have to lower the box rather to low the bar, and it's that that combination of what do I have to do first.
Yeah.
So that's that's uh my own class, if I might say that, my own uh, choice of what first. So I'm doing now more reps with the loading the bar, and then I decide to move forward with the lowering the box.
So where is the hard choice?
That's a good question because I think that it's kind of fear of getting hurt. It's like, what's the best decision to avoid hurting my quadricep? That's the main issue that I have been struggling with.
All
That
right. So where is the hard choice?
this is not a hard choice. It's fear in my mind. It's like that's
Yeah,
it.
well, everything you need to really count, right? And take under consideration. So where is the hard choice? What is at stake here? What is the hardest to do in your progress in this area?
Hmm.
Uh, where, where what is the hardest?
Mm, if I'm understanding well, for me, it's flexibility.
So you said that you your quadricep is very tight, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when you think about increasing the weight or decreasing the box, what is the hardest? What would be the hardest?
Decreasing the box.
So you go after that.
Okay.
Exactly. So what is easier, you don't go after because if you go in a chain, when you imagine a chain and the idea of saying we are as strong as the weakest link, you can apply to the hard choices. So if you find the weakest link, then it's your hard choice to train it.
Right. My mind maybe explain with me because I think that if I load the bar, I'm helping the strength of my quadriceps so they can decrease easier, with more strength in terms of flexibility. I don't know if this is a weird thought.
No, it's good because your thinking is good. That you increase the weight, but you're not increasing the angle. So, but the angle is the ultimate thing. So you go after the angle because you are suffering the inflexibility, stiffness. And then you work how to stretch, like Grzegorz is doing this stretching between the sessions, and he figured out how to keep his quadricep flexible enough so the quadricep adapts to the every level. He picked up the hard choice, learned how to do it, and executed that and manifested the progress. So these are the elements that steps that you really need to learn. And the most important is you find the hard choice and you work on it until it becomes the adapted and easy and so on. Adaptation is the way to survive. Yes. So that's
Yes.
the whole thing about what is important, survival or adaptation. Well, adaptation, because adaptation will help us to survive. If we have difficulties with adaptation, then we will not survive. So, in a way, we all try to adapt to disasters of life that happens to us. And better or worse, it depends how good we are. Then we adapt. So here is the microprogression system in the happy body and in stiffness, and opportunity to become healer. You are asked to be self-healer, and without that, you cannot really adapt, because it's you would need to have Jersey every day and training you and talking to you, but that's not going to happen, right? So you have you,
Exactly.
and you have to depend on yourself, and find out a coach within, a mentor within. Well, this is the whole thing about the happy body, that it gives the outline, gives the plan, gives the strategies, gives the philosophies, and a person is asked to find the coach, the mentor, to progress. It's an amazing thing eventually, because the opportunity is immense. They ask to become self-regulated coach to progress, to create progress, and learn microprogression, patience, kindness, and progress that is safe, but still progress. And it is really hard, because truth is hard, and progress is truth. If you want to progress in any direction, then you are visible. And as soon as you are visible, you can be tested, you can be seen, you can be challenged. So the happy body became this visible, tested system, because it's numbers. All standards are in numbers. You can test it. And that's how the research, the quantitative research by Aniela and I, was created. We search, and for 10 years, and work with our clients, and eventually we found the visibility, transparency, 100% transparency. So the happy body became this mathematical equation that can be followed, can be engaged, can be adapted. And because it's all numbers, it can be replicable, tested, and used for collecting data and possibility for healing, possibility for remembering how it was. So you can always have this ability to correct yourself and improve yourself. Awesome. That is very clear that nothing like that was ever created when it comes to living some kind of a science and system or program to live a good life. I think that let me see something here.
I'm going to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. All right, Chekos, you're on. So what's going on with you?
On my side,
Yeah.
I was on a foot massage, and I'm really exhausted after it.
Foot massage. You gave yourself a foot massage.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good. That's really cool.
Reflexology, and wow, I'm more exhausted and tired than really hard training, right? So yeah, and I really have to push myself to do something because mm, I try to not to I'm doing everything not to train. I don't know, and this is the experience.
What did you say?
I'm doing everything to do, but not to train, right?
What do you
And
mean to do? What is there to do?
I don't want to train. I
Or
don't
to do
have,
other things, you mean?
yeah, other things, right? Work, play with the son, and so on, right?
Yeah.
And go to take a nap, right? And not to train. And yeah, and in this experience, I trying to figure out, okay, how to deal with it.
And what is the
It
force?
yeah, and is my body to tell me just rest, or should I push and do? And
Because
I
you're just getting old.
sorry,
You're just getting old.
yeah,
Welcome.
yeah, and
That's what the feeling people have when they are getting old, or they have this old feeling when they are young. You can be young and you can have the feeling of being tired or not going for it, right? Um, not conquer the world, right? The idea, the feeling. Like, you want to go to Olympics. Hey, you don't have that feeling like you just said. A person like that, well, like in Poland, every day for about 4 years, I was waking up at 6 a.m. and running to the forest. And that was running to the forest because that was the part of the goal that I wanted to create. In rain, in snow, in winds, I ran to the forest in spite of whatever the weather was outside. And
I
sometimes my dog ran with me, and I remember the snow was so thick that she disappeared in snow. So I had to find her. Sometimes the snow was strong, so she was really running on top of it. But the snow sometimes was up to my knees. I ran every day for years, 6 a.m. in the morning to the forest in Stargard. And it took probably about 3K, something like that. and to really get there. And then I was there. I was doing some plyometrics, throwing rocks and things, and then came back. That was about 1 hour and a half at the beginning of the day. Before I ate, before I brushed my teeth, I just put my clothes and off I go. So you see, you have to, it's either people have this kind of a brain or they don't, whether we are young or old. But when we are old, we definitely have it. But when we are young, we have the chances to wake up that brain that I am talking about, the brain that goes for things.
Okay, so because the question for me is what the body is telling me, and should I rest or should I push and train? And I don't have the answer.
You train every day. So my answer is you train every day.
Okay, and because what I did, I removed the weight from the bar from 13 kilo to 9 kilo, and 9 kilo, and train lighter bar but train, not 30, not 40,
Yeah,
not 40 repetitions, but at least 10, at least 5.
you
But
find a way. You see, that's how we do the same thing. When we travel and we are stiff sometimes or we are tired, we go to the gym and we snatches with the bar only. But we do 20 rounds of it or 30 rounds with the snatch. And even if our body is feeling better and better, we don't increase the weight. We just play only with the bar. So it feels good. We have to restore the body that feels good. And it's in a way your wisdom. Your wisdom is to have the good outcome with the foggy brain. So when you have a foggy brain, you say, when I do the snatches or I lower the weight, I will feel better when I actually do it. So then you go and then you do it. Within 10, 15 minutes, you feel so good. Well, that's the wisdom to have. And now you only have to have that strong connection between this wisdom of knowing that you will feel better, and it always feels better when actually you do it, and it has to be the way that it works always. So you have to find a way. What is the way of the bars, the height, so you always feel good after doing the routine. The body starts feeling better. It's not challenge. So when we do the bar routine, we are not challenged. We simply do the movement with the light weight, so the body feels good with it, and then overrides all the foggy brain, and the brain starts clearing. The chemistry of the brain becomes different, and the feeling of feeling good comes in. It's physical.
okay, so what you want to say, I'm trying to understand, is not to push, not to push with the same weight, lower the, let's say, lower the resistance by box level, by the weight, by number of repetitions, but at the end do with the, let's say, with the with the lower expectations. Maybe no expectations, right?
Yeah, well, the if you have to find the joy, right? The fun. And you can find a certain level. And when the brain doesn't want to do, what is the hard choice? The hard choice is now to really find the joy in the movement. And the brain doesn't want to do it. So it's very interesting. The statement was said by Rinpoche in the book of Living and Dying. So he said, you have to tame your mind. And the only way, the paradox here is that you have the mind to tame itself. You have the mind to tame the mind. And that's why it's so hard. We are locked in. Because somehow in that mind, you have to also find the force to save yourself, to adapt yourself to the conditions of a foggy brain that doesn't want to do, sluggish brain, the brain that is lazy, sluggish, doesn't want to do, rejects, and even creates the idea that it's not good. So, that's the wisdom of the fatalist. And the smartness of the fatalist to not to do. So you have a very strong principle, and the principles I train every day. So you train every day, it depends how. If I feel really good, then I go to that level of maybe surpass, whatever I've ever done. But if not, then I go and recover my foggy brain so that my brain is clear. And when we get old, almost everybody gets that brain. I'm getting that brain. I'm getting that brain because, I'm old enough. So it can be really hard on a person to be old, have that brain, and come out of it. How would you do that, right? So the happy body attempts to make it happen for a person, but the person needs a lot of help from the inside of that mind to become this self-coach with all the wisdoms that is needed to self-regulate themselves around how to progress and create a better living. Okay? Questions? Insights? All of you that are in that 1 year of mentoring, you are in the pursuit of finding self-mastery, finding what to do in life when hard choice comes in, to act on it or not, to do or not to do, right? So, and then it's complex because there are other things that happen in our life. It's not only that that we have sometimes the foggy brain, but also we are getting older. So to listen to people that they are in 40s about longevity and how to respond to the aging, it's insane because once you become certain age, that certain things happen that they don't happen when you are younger. Yeah, I know what it means to be in 60s. And now I'm learning what happens to me when I'm in 70s. So it's a learning process and experiences attached to it. And one thing that we fight the foggy brain. There is no room for the foggy brain. So, like Viktor Frankl said, if suffering is avoidable, we should remove it. So here it is. It is, this one is avoidable. And you have to remove sluggish brain. And how to do it? You have to do things that they are pleasurable and fun and so on. That's why you do the standing tall, let's say, with light weight, and you can choose even doing only that exercise. You do the 6 repetitions, you wait, or 1 minute, you do another. You just try to find where you can restore that joy of moving and desiring. It's not desire, or really, it's a depressing brain. That foggy brain is who knows? It's like we are depressed. And a lot of people, young people, go through this brain that they do not desire. They are not going after things. They are just going through life. It means one thing already, that this brain that to go and create, innovate, and have fun with progress is not awakened. Progress is in life is something that invigorates us, requires that clear brain to create the micro progression and improvement, and it feels good. It feels awesome actually to get better. But to get there, we need that brain that wants it, desires it. And then does everything on a daily basis to get there. So that brain can override any habits that you could have. If you have a habits that are against that what you want, those habits will be overridden and changed. So if we stay with what we really want, we are good, because that will take us to create it. There has to be a strong message in us to create, to evolve, to pursue. It cannot be something that we are blind and we don't know what is it that we want. We cannot really pinpoint that. We have to search for it if we don't have it. We have to find it. That's your passion. That's something that it can help you to survive 10 years of medical school or law or writing alone. If you are a novelist, so you have to spend years alone in a room writing. You have to have a very strong desire to override the sluggish brain, the brain that wants to take you away from practice. from practice, from practice, from practice, because there is practice. What a day today. We step on something.
Jersey, do you still feel disappointed when you don't achieve anything?
I don't have disappointment feeling at all because I don't have expectation.
Right.
So not present in my brain. I don't deal with it at all because I don't have expectations. I work with my goals and I keep working on them. That's it. So
And would you say is that practice as well? You have
what is
been,
it?
will you say that that's practice as well? That you have been practicing to don't have expectations?
Well, it's very uh, difficult to grasp idea, and sometimes I work with people from from tech CEOs, and it's really hard for them to grasp an idea of no expectations, zero expectations. It's really hard. Why is it hard? Because you have to give up of controlling people, and you have to get the brain that is engaged in achieving things, but not really, and just focus on that, and not judging people or punishing people, or any negativity that could come in because people didn't do what you asked them to do. You still focus on so they actually do that. So you say, "Well, I asked you to do that, and you didn't do. How I can help you to achieve that? What do you need? What happened?" So we can learn both here how you can get it, and that's the way to go. You go forward. You don't go backward. I don't go backward. Zero backward. My past, as I say, is not interesting. So when I lost my career of being a fire protection engineer and chief in Poland, what did I do? I moved forward. I still was tormented in my dreams. Cannot do anything about that. After 40 and 50 years, still have dreams about that I'm a fireman coming back to it. It's amazing the grieving, it's can happen in your brain, in your dreams. Yes, they will come. The other thing is that worrying about your children is something that you cannot override. You will have it. You will have it. And it's not really up to you. It's just you have it. And that's it. And then you don't put judgment on it that you shouldn't have it or whatever it is. You have it. And you just move on. Forward, always forward. Like the saying, the Zen saying I repeat over and over, that when you go forward, you do good things, and some good things happen, you get better, and you die. And when you go backward, you don't do certain things, you do the bad things, you get worse, and you die. So the punchline is, why not to go forward? So I in life, I was never interested how the things didn't work. I always found it really useless. But going forward, find things how they work, how they could work. It's like what it was said. Edison was finding uh, uh, this material to create the bulb, so that the bulb would be the light would happen, and he was not interested why it was not working. He was interested which one would work, and he knew that one is going to work. After 600 times, he found it. That's what it means to go forward. Not interested in why things don't work. Like I read this book, How We Get Fat. Really? You're interested in the how you get fat? And that's what you want to teach? Because I don't see possibility with the knowledge how we get fat that you will know how to get lean. That's not going to happen. The skill of becoming lean is no different than the skill of snatching. I have to do that in order to become good in that. If you are interested in how we get fat, that you are good in that. And you can teach people how to get fat, because that's all you got. Forward. Forward is it prevents you from expectations and all the negativity that could happen if you go backward. If you go backward, then you will have problems with people. To go forward means you analyze the things, how to improve them, how to make it better. You're interested in creative process, how to make it better. You're not interested why it was not working. It's a waste of time. And people say, "Oh, I need to know how it was not working, so I do now I will learn that, and I will learn how it works actually." No, that doesn't work that way, because they still to work to make things better is still you have to learn how to make these things better, and it's really going to be hard. It's not an easy choice. How to be lean? It's not an easy task. How to be happy? Oh, that's really hard. That's really hard. It's not something that uh, easy for us to become. But it's only become because happiness is available to everyone in spite of anything. And that is the hardest things to believe and imagine. But it is available to everyone in spite of where the person is. And that is the magic. It's magic that happiness is available to everyone in every place where people are, and age and location and whatever it is. That's why Stoics, they talk about dependency on wealth or health, that it doesn't have anything to do with our happiness. And you can even ask a person, what would you rather be, rich and miserable or poor and happy? And I've never really met anybody that would choose to be rich and miserable. Not even one person. It's very clear to people. It means one thing, that happiness doesn't have anything to do with wealth. Zero. You know, we were, you know, in LA, lived in LA, there was this park, we were in North Hollywood. And we like to go to the park and sit, and sometimes we watch Mexican's family. They came, you know, like grandfather and children and their grandchildren. They come in these trucks, and you can see that they are after a hard day of work, and all of them happy, you know, they brought all this food, and the chirping everywhere. You watch that with like this amazement of appreciation of that scene created by people, very poor people, but with really this generations together and happiness, and they were chirping like birds, happy birds. That's amazing. They found it. It was there. They didn't have to live in this big house up there. They didn't have to have this fancy cars. What they had is just a little bit food, a little bit drink, and themselves. And they created this beautiful environment and goodness around, happiness. So happiness is inside. It doesn't have anything to do with the out. Well, but we started with the foggy brain. That's not a happy, happy brain. Well, you go into the gym, you do certain things, and then body becomes happy. Yeah, because we are talking about happy body. Why is there happy body? Happy mind, happy body, right? So the body is made out of chemicals, and it's a live thing. So it needs a certain way to feel good. Everything has to be inside a certain way. And you can create a certain way when you do the happy body. When we go to the gym and you do the happy body, 5-10 minutes, you start feeling good, right? Why? Because it's integrated and the body likes it. Even if you have a foggy brain, if you start doing the happy body, then after 5-10 minutes, you start feeling good. Your body feels good, not even you, that you start feeling good. But that's the whole point of doing over and over the same thing, because the body recognizes the past and the feeling good, the flow, they can get into it. There was this why I was thinking about creating the happy body that way, because when I read Chopra's Quantum Healing, there was the story that he was telling about 90-year-old, something 90 something man who came to the party and sat at the piano and started banging on the piano. The music was not coming from what he was doing, but his fingers were stiff, knuckles, and you can see arthritis was there already and so on. So he hang around there, and he said that he forgot about the pianist and banging on that thing and just talking to people. But he said after 20 minutes, he something changed, and what changed is the music was coming from the piano. And first he thought it was somebody else, but it was the same guy. So he got interested. So he went closer and he looked at his fingers, and the fingers got smoother, and the music was, the sound was more like music. So when I read that, I thought that we should play our body that way. So we are the pianist of our movements. And when we say do those movements, the body should become the smooth like fingers, the whole body system. That's why the happy body was created.
It is interesting because I have the experience that the body is not smooth after often when I do the first snatch a day, it's not smooth, but
Exactly.
the second and the third is smooth.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, right? That you do something what is familiar, and the body finds its way to become better instantly almost, because the body knows. So when you are 90-year-old and you did the happy body for 40 years, you will wake up and you say you start the movement, and the body is already knowing what's going on here and likes it, because the movement, is connected to this so much likability and feeling good.
So, so you want to say that you can feel somehow, and after you start do the exercise, which is known by body, the body recognize it and release some chemicals and make you feel good instantly.
That's it. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
why creation is important, and that's why doing something what the body likes to do is important. To read good books is important. To go and do the bowling or skiing, whatever we want to do, is important, because that's where the body feels good. Something that the body was doing before, and the body is doing again. All right, so it's a time. I have to be on Zoom at 10. So, okay, what are the words? Probably, what is the word?
Mine is forward.
Forward. Okay, good word. Exactly.
My is desire.
Yeah, two good words you picked up, guys. And mine? Yeah, I'm for familiarity. Something is familiar. When something is familiar, it feels good. All right, guys. See you in a week.
Yeah, have a awesome week.
Practice.
Yes, now I'm just practice.
Every day. Every day.
Yeah, every
Every
day.
Hey.
Yes. Bye.